What's up, people? It's your girl, Adeola. So I got the shock of my life this week when the former Chief of Defense Staff, Alex Badi, said that they've not bought any weapons for the soldiers since 2006.
If I go down memory lane, I think the last time any piece of equipment was bought for the Nigerian Army was some APCs that were bought in 2006.
What?
Inadequate equipment, obsolete equipment, aeroplanes. In fact, we are the ones that are flying probably the oldest fighter aeroplanes in the whole world. Alpha jets, we bought them in 1981.
Stop it, I had him the first time. Hey, are you serious? Hey, yeah, hey, what, this is the Chief of Defense Staff, no be so? 2006, Oluwagbami, that is 9 years ago. With what have we been fighting Boko Haram all these years? Is this man alright? I mean, who told us in February that they bought 2 new jets filled with weapons? No be him? Is he throwing Jonathan under the bus now? Like everybody is now throwing Jonathan under the bus. It's either they bought some weapons around election time or they lied to us that they bought weapons. Just like he lied the other time that he said they've reached ceasefire agreement with Boko Haram. Remember?
I wish to inform this audience that a ceasefire agreement has been concluded between the federal government of Nigeria and Al-Sunnah leader wal Jihad.
So remember me, I was dancing on this show saying that our girls will be back because they said the Chibok girls will be released the following week. Boko Haram came out and said nothing was signed. But how can someone be so wicked? That is what I don't understand. Assuming that he's saying the truth, that they didn't buy any weapons since 2006. Why was he denying all the media reports about lack of weapons for our soldiers to fight? And you had no weapons and you didn't say this until at least 15,000 civilians were killed. Not to talk about the number of soldiers that died. Do we even know how many Nigerian soldiers were killed by Boko Haram? No. Is there any record? I don't think so. How was he sleeping at night, knowing that you were sending soldiers, young men and women, to fight without weapons? No. This man should be arrested. Arrested and tried, and while he's in prison, he needs to apologize to the whole country, to all the mothers that have lost their sons, all the wives that have lost their husband, all the little kids that have lost their parents, because they were fighting with Boko Haram without weapons. Remember that documentary that the Nigerian soldiers had no adequate weapons and that they were the ones buying their own uniforms?
You're not issued the kits, you buy the kits yourself.
You have to buy the uniform and the kit yourself?
Yes, you buy them. I bought mine myself.
That's incredible.
And that whenever they got injured, they had to pay for their own hospital bills.
So this is what they gave you after your injury?
Yeah. His unit, he says, was outgunned. Boko Haram with bigger, longer-range weapons.
The army won't pay for the drugs, even though you got your injury fighting Boko Haram.
They're not paid for the drug.
In fact, we all saw what happened to that pilot that was beheaded by Boko Haram. The military denied knowing the guy. And what did this man do at that time? He arrested several soldiers who refused to fight Boko Haram, accusing them of mutiny. Not only that, he said that there were informants among soldiers working for Boko Haram.
We found out that we had 50 colonists in the military that were leaking information to terrorists.
So I'm really baffled right now. You knew all this at that time and you kept quiet? Why didn't you do something about that at that time? Now you're opening your mouth. You have a lot to say. And when you were in power and you could save lives, you did not do anything. I can't stand people like this. Let's not forget that in October of last year, this same man, Bade, sent helicopter to evacuate his own family just before Boko Haram attacked Mubi. Everybody else was left to their fate. And Boko Haram came, killed so many people, and took over Mubi. He later denied that they sent helicopter, but the question remained, how did his family escape? And you know, it's not just him. He's not the only one to be blamed. Former President Goodluck Jonathan should be probed. How can you be president? You're allocating $5 billion every year for the purchase of weapons, and you won't know that the weapons were not purchased? Like, how can you not know? Wait a minute. Is it possible that Jonathan doesn't know about this?
The weaponry of the military was so degraded that they weren't able to hold on to these towns and villages. When the budget now is about $5 billion a year for security.
Information is that these things were not there. I was not in charge.
Thank you, my brother. I forgot we have that tape. Can you imagine? Did he say that he was not in charge?
I was not in charge.
Yeah, right. He said that. Okay. Now it's safe for me to say that Jonathan must be probed. Like, really? Even though he said he was not in charge, his body language tells me otherwise. Let's say he didn't know about it. After the reporter brought up the issue of the money, shouldn't he start investigating what happened to the money? Apparently, $32 billion was allocated in the last 5 years. Were these people sharing the money among themselves? And civilians and soldiers were left to die? Like, really? No. In fact, you can't tell me that Jonathan didn't know about this, because why would he threaten to withdraw soldiers from Borno State when the governor of Borno complained that Boko Haram was better equipped than the Nigerian soldiers? Remember that time he told the governor that no matter how frustrated you are, you don't make this kind of statement. I'm like, why shouldn't he make that kind of statement? Remember, why was he trying to prevent the governor from saying soldiers were not well equipped if there isn't something that Jonathan was hiding? That's why I said he needs to be probed. And speaking of the money allocated for weapons, is it true that the man, Alex Bade, has an investment company registered here in the US? I mean, someone sent me this and I'm like, what? Herrick Investment Incorporated. The date on this says November 6, 2014, the year that he became the chief of defense staff. An investment company in Florida after his appointment. Investment firm. Anyway, that's a topic for another day. I can't believe that they gave the man a royal welcome back to his hometown after Buhari fired him. I'm like, Nigerians would never cease to amaze me. What did he do for you when he was there? And you're giving him this kind of welcome back? While I'm hoping that very soon they will release all the soldiers arrested for refusing to face Boko Haram without weapons, I hope that this man is probed so that the person that has taken over after him would be serious with his job. And I think President Goodluck Jonathan should be probed as well. And speaking of which, did you all see the pictures of the police barracks in Oju-Elegba? Hey, Oju-Elegba, my father and my God. This is where police officers live. Hey, whoa, hey, Niger. No wonder the guy said that we live like rats. Yes, Nigerians want us to be their friends. That is to say, that is why they collect 50-50 naira from drivers on the road. I hope that something is done and done on time, because nobody should live under this kind of circumstance. No, this is wrong. At the same time though, Oga Olopa, you know, do well. And this is not an excuse to collect money from drivers. Yes, because some drivers live in Alamo, you understand, they live in worse situations than this, yet you collect money from them. Being miserable is not an excuse to make the lives of other people miserable. When things are like this, why don't you go on a strike? Shebi, it is the government that should be responsible for your comfort, not innocent drivers. So stop making life miserable for other people just because, you know, this is how you live. I pity you, I feel very bad for you, I cannot imagine what you're going through, but don't make life miserable for the rest of us because of that as well. You not do well. Guess what? I don't know much, I'm just keeping it real.